Hello everyone, this is Fate Matters and I'm David Hennessy. You're very welcome to the programme, and I have on the line a man who was a Canadian boxing champion at lightweight for 2 years in a row. He won a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games and he also was champion of Ireland. The first time we've had a boxer on the line, and this is Brendan Lowe. Brendan, you're very welcome. How are you?
Thank you, David. It's an absolute pleasure to be sharing my story with you. It's just an honour to be sitting here today.
Well, thanks very much, Brendan, for taking the time.
I'm going to continue on from my drinking escalated out of control. I ended up in rehab. I was in rehab. Oh my God, I lost count. I was in Ward 15 twice for 4 weeks at a time, and I was in Sister Concilio's in Newry 4 times, and I was also in Athy, County Kildare. I was in rehab there for 12 weeks at a time. So there was like 60 weeks of my life, 68 weeks of my life I was in rehab for.
Wow.
And I still, David, could not find an answer. I still couldn't get sober, and I still couldn't live a sober life. So I reached out to a girl who is a very close friend. I now work for her. I'm a volunteer down at Suicide Awareness and Support Group. Margaret Walker found me. She found me foaming at. I was supposed to have an appointment with her that day, and she found me foaming at the mouth, my eyes at the back of my head. I had OD'd. I shouldn't be here anymore.
Where were you? Where were you when this happened?
I was at home. Just I don't want to really go into detail about it, but I'm just getting flashbacks of what happened now, and it wasn't a nice experience, David. But Margaret Walker saved my life, and not only did she save my life that day, David, she gave me a life. And
Brendan, may I ask you what did you take? What drug were you on?
I just overdosed on all my sleeping tablets and stuff like that. So Margaret Walker saved my life that day, and not only did she save my life, she just gave me a life today. And through her, she guided me back to AA, and I started to believe in God again. I always believed in God, but I just didn't. I don't know. What do they say? The further you roam from your path of unbelief, it's hard to remember God, sort of thing. And God is always with you. But I roamed off, and I then Margaret sent me back to college, and I went and I got a level 3 diploma in physiology and anatomy. I done my personal trainer's exams, and she put me through it, and I was doing counselling, and I started to go to AA, and the wee saying in AA, you gotta learn to listen and listen to learn, and I could never ever learn to listen, and I wasn't listening to learn, but it's 2 wee simple sentences, and they mean so much. So yeah, and then I've been sober now. On the 14th of March this year, I was sober 8 years. So 14th of March, I'm about 8 years and 6 months sober.
Praise God. Praise God.
Yeah. Yes, I thank God for that. I did have one slip up, just a wee stew, and I beat myself up over it. It wasn't drink. It was drugs. It was a bit of cocaine, and someone gave me some, and I took it. And I was just one night by myself in the house. I just went, oh my God, what? And then the next morning, I just went, oh, what did I do that for? And I beat myself up, and then I went and see my family priest, and he said, Brendan, everybody makes mistakes, we're all sinners in this world, and you fell down. It's not about falling down, it's about getting up and getting on with it again. So that was way last year. So I've been sober from drink nearly 9 years, and It's just been the best life ever. Growing, being part of AA is, it's actually changed me as a person. Sober Brendan. Sober Brendan. Everybody calls me Brendan or Brendan. My mum heard somebody call me Brent. Go bunkers. She says his name's not Brandy, it's Brendan. I can just hear her saying it now. But Margaret Walker and her team, there's Susan, Jean, Wee Joe, Rosie, and Margaret Lismore. I'm now part of that team. It's now, today we're all going down, and it's World Mental Health Day today, and so we're going down to the office here, and we're doing a wee thing. We're giving out bracelets, and Margaret's going to do a talk, and we're going to be there. So it's good to be a part of a different organisation. Margaret has me going into schools and walking the kids in schools, all about my journey, about what it used to be like and what it was like and what it's like today, sort of thing. And it's just an absolute miracle, David, that I'm still here today. My brother Joe always says to me, he says, Brendan, you were like a beaten dog out on the ground and you were stomped on that many times. I can't believe what I'm seeing. More or less, it's just an absolute miracle. And so from then, I just keep myself, so they tell you in AA, many meetings make it possible and few meetings make it impossible. So I had to hand it over to put my trust and put my whole heart into God, and because if I put my whole trust and my whole heart into God, He's gonna keep my path straight and keep it. Hopefully, there's no distractions and things. You will get wee distractions and wee layoffs, and temptation will come your way, and you will make mistakes and you will do. But as long as you believe in God and you get back on the right path again.
That's true. And Brendan, what would you say to somebody listening in who has a problem with drink? What advice would you give him or her?
Someone who has a problem with drink and drugs or a problem with addiction, you need to hand it over. They need to go and seek advice. They need help. They need help from should it be drugs? Should it be drink? There's AA, there's NA, there's rehab, and all the AA groups, the NA groups. There's a 12-step recovery program, and going through your 12 steps. Step 1 is admitting you're powerless over alcohol and your life becomes unmanageable. I admitted that right away. And step 2 and 3 is handing that power over to God of your understanding, that He will help you stay sober and help you on the right path. And then 4 and 5 is sitting down with somebody who you trust to sponsor. When I done my steps, I actually done my steps with a priest. We follow a priest called Father Rory Sheekin, and he was absolutely brilliant. I spent nearly a year with him, and he took me through the steps of recovery. There's a lot of things in there where you'll want to talk about, things that you've done wrong in the past to hurt other people, and things that you maybe can't disclose or are afraid to disclose it to somebody else. And you have to hand over your whole trust and your whole will over to a person that that you can trust with your whole heart and soul. So I couldn't think of anybody better with the priest. And then going through the rest of the steps, 6 and 7, humbly asking God to remove all your defects of character. 8 and 9 is making amends to people you had hurt in the past. 9 and 10 is through prayer and meditation. And 11, and then 12 is going out there and helping other alcoholics achieve sobriety, because you're not the person you used to be, but you're on the road to being the person that you're meant to be through constant thought of other people. But you cannot think of other people unless you think of yourself first. So you need to get yourself right before you can try to fix anybody else. Because if you're not right, the whole world around you is not right. And the only way that I can think of that you can make yourself right is by handing over the power greater than yourself to restore your head back to sanity. Step 2, God. good orderly direction. Believing in God is has helped me tenfold. I can't believe that I am where I am today, and I'm only here. I only am where I am today is because God's looking after me, because I've trusted in Him. Then met a good friend of mine called Paddy McDonald, and Paddy McDonald runs trips to Magaguri, and that's where I met Patricia and Caroline. It was really weird that I met those two, and it was like a divine intervention, and they were saying to me about doing a podcast on the radio with David, and I said yeah, and then 6 months later the phone rings, and hey, it's David Hennessy. I was talking to Patricia and Caroline, and they passed your number on to me, and here we are today. But Magaguri to me has been such a blessing. I've been there 5 times in this last 2 years, and I'm heading out again on the 26th of September.
And Brendan, tell me your experience at Medjugorje. Tell me what it has done to you and what has happened to you out there.
Medjugorje was such a peaceful, beautiful place. I went there. I don't know what people expect when they go there, but this is probably going to sound a bit. I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God is what they say, isn't it? We were doing the Stations Across. This is the first time I went to Medjugorje, and it's like a big steep mountain, and the top cross is called White Mountain Cross White Mountain, and behind it there's a big pole. So we made our way up the mountain, and it was dark, and there was of us, and reached the top, and we said all the stations across on the way up, and this is really eerie. Even talking about this brings out all this back to me. Poggy climbed out the big pole, and I took he said, take my picture, and I took his picture. And then he said, Brendan, go you up and I'll take your picture. So cut a long story short, he came back down and he showed me my picture. Hey, David, I'd look over if I had murdered or killed somebody, or alright, I'm a sinner, I know I'm a sinner, and I've sinned many times throughout my life. But the picture came back with it was like my face was like a skeleton, and it was like all you could see was my eyes and my bones and my arms. It's like it was like flying right through me, and I was petrified. And Paddy went, "Oh my God, what?" I says, "Who's that?" He says, "Brendan, that's you. There's your watch." So we went back down the mountain and went straight to the priest, and the priest had a long talk with me, and he said, "Brendan, be not afraid." He says, "Wherever you come close to Our Lady and God, that the devil, the demon, is always close at bay." So I went home to Ireland, and I was still shaky on it, and I went to my own family priest, we Father Rory Sheehan, who took me through the steps of recovery, and he put his fist up and just went, "Brendan," and bless me, he said, "That's just what you needed," and it's just what I didn't need. But I can see the way he's saying it, you know. To show you that the devil, there is a devil, and there definitely is a God. But it scared the living daylights out of me. But I pushed it all to the side, and I put my whole heart, my whole trust, and my whole faith into God. And I'm now in just starting my training here soon to become a Eucharistic minister of my local parish. Father Nasheed is going to put me through it. But I've been back to Medjugorje another 4 times from I've seen that. I had that experience. I'm not letting that there wear me down or knock me down or try to go walk with the devil's path. I just don't believe. I do believe there's a devil, but you know I believe there's a God, and the more right we do in this world, you know, the better where God will think of us.
Sorry to interrupt you, but going back to that photograph, you saw yourself. Would you describe it again, Brendan?
It was me, but it was like a skeleton, and it was like all my skin was ripped open. It was like I was the devil. It was all like bones and skeleton, and you could see my eyes. Then it's gone.
And what did the priest say to you about that again?
The priest said, "Be not afraid, Brendan. Wherever you come close to Our Lady, or God, or Jesus, the devil is always close at hand."
He was trying to scare. In other words, the devil was trying to scare you off.
Yeah, the devil was trying to scare me off. Like, I haven't gone away. And he's right. The devil hasn't gone away, but it's what you believe. If you believe in a power greater than yourself, which is God and Jesus and Our Lady, you're gonna have a better life. You're gonna have you will get temptations, you will get distractions. The devil will always be there, but that there to me was like a wake up call. It was a sign for me that you can walk with me, or you can think. And I'd look over it, David, if I was a mortal sinner, if I had murdered somebody, or I killed somebody, or I had been a demon, or I'm not saying I haven't. I wasn't. I was a bad person, and everybody makes mistakes, and everybody falls down. But it's not how. I said before, it's not how you fall down; it's how you get up again.
And Brendan, what part did confession play in this?
When I went to confession,
when we were talking the other day, you said that it made you go. You'd gone to confession every time you go there, I think. And what part has that played in your recovery? And you're getting over this, the whole process you've had of getting over your past and the fright you got with that photo.
Yeah, there's a wee saying I always remember from years ago: the past is history, the future's a mystery, the present day is a gift. You take you as you are today.
Yes.
And you hand your will and your strength over to God or a higher power, whoever you believe in, which to me is God and Our Lady. And I always have a wee intervention, have a wee talk with my mummy, and they guide me on the right path. They keep me right.
Right.
I'd be the type of person, David, where if I'm going to do something wrong, like I'm out driving or somebody drives in front of me, you go, what are you call? Hang on. Yeah, and then you say, Brendan, take a deep breath, inhale, and let it out. Breathe, and then you just like, right, okay, right. He's let go and let God.
Yeah. Oh man, yes, let go and let God. I think that could be the motto of your life, couldn't it, Brendan? Let go and let God.
100%. I don't know, David. It's just I'm going back to Medjugorje again, and in 2 weeks' time, and I'm looking forward. I'm then going to Medjugorje. My son's invited me out to. He lives in Dubai, so I'm flying from Medjugorje on over to Dubai to spend time with my wee granddaughter and my son and his wife Olivia, and we're going to go to Paul Hughes is fighting in the MMA thing. He's fighting Nurmagomedov, and we've got tickets for that, so we've got ringside seats. So looking forward to going over and spending a bit of time with my son and in the sun, and my wee granddaughter and my daughter-in-law.
And that's wonderful, Brendan. And it's looking now, after listening to you, I can see how the Lord has came into your life in a big way, and your past is past, and He's given you a new life.
He really has, David. And seeing that picture that time, to me, I could have turned the other way and went,
yes,
you know what, and maybe I am a devil, or maybe I am a demon. We all make mistakes in this world, and we're all sinners. And that was just a bit unusual to see my face sort of scraped out and like the skeleton sort of thing. I don't even like talking about it. You know.
But the Lord has you did the right thing. That was the devil trying to scare you, and you just continued on and put your trust in God, and that's over and that's done with. And
the further you walk and roam away from the paths of unbelief, the harder it is to remember God. And remember God is with you. If we always remember that, and even me sitting here now, a wee bit nervous and a bit apprehensive about doing the talk, you know. God has guided me through this talk, and God has made me say what I have said, and I don't know.
That's it, Brendan. That's it, Brendan.
And I do, David, believe that Our Lady, and my mummy are looking after me today.
They are indeed, Brendan.
As well as God, and they've guided me on the right path. And I mean, I have. In my home, I have the Divine Mercy picture of Jesus, and I have a statue that I took back from Maggiore. It's on my fireplace, and I also have the other Divine Mercy picture up, and the 4 words, Jesus, or 5 words it is, Jesus, I trust in you. They're part of they're my living room. So any time I get up or when I wake up or before I go to bed at night, I would say a decade of the rosary, and then say the wee prayers. And my mummy always said, "There's, you know, God bless your mummy, your daddy, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your grannies, your grandads, your all the poor bobbies in the world." And then we say the wee prayer, "Tonight as I lie down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And in the morning, if I should not awake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." You know, I say those prayers every night. And a wee decade of the rosary. I'm going to go up and have the rosary beads follow me, go with me up there in the car all day, and then when I come in at night, I take them in the bed with me. I'd actually left them down in the car last night, and I had to get ready to get into bed. And I wasn't getting into bed without them. I went down in the car in the rain, in the wet, and my bare feet, and I just lifted the rosary beads, and then they just go beside my pillow.
Yeah, that's a great advice for anybody. When I was coming back myself, Brendan, to the Lord, and like you said, it's very difficult because the devil doesn't like us coming back. But when we stick to the prayer, we stick to Our Lady, be very close to Our Lady, and go to confession, the Lord laughs at the devil. The Lord laughs at the devil. And he has nothing to do. He hasn't a chance, because once we turn to him and we have Our Lady beside us, nothing can touch us.
That is the wee thing that I always believe in. If you trust in me, trust in God with all your heart, he will make your path straight. You know, there will be no obstacles, no interventions, no anything else. If you trust in God with all your whole heart and whole soul, that he'll guide you on the right path, and you just got to keep walking with him and keep praying. One of Our Lady's messages was from Maggiore is to pray for peace in the world. Our world at the minute, David, is upside down. You know what's going on in Israel and Palestine and America and Russia, and you know the whole world is just in chaos and fighting and arguing over instead of just being peaceful and living in peace.
Well, Brendan, look, I'm afraid our time is up, and it goes by quickly, doesn't it, Brendan? And
it does, all right.
And it's really been a joy speaking with you.
It's been an honor to be asked to share my story, and it's just one thing I've just got to say. If anybody hasn't been to Maggiore, they got to go. It's the most beautiful spiritual place in the whole wide world, and I just it's changed me as a person. So if anybody can get there to go, hopefully it changes them as well.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much, Brendan, and look after yourself and take care now, and God bless you.
And thank you, David, for having me.
You can listen back to this program and previous programs on my podcast, Finding Happiness. You'll find it on YouTube and Spotify. For now, good night and God bless.